is what happens in court. You don't know. We send list of exhibits. Those exhibits, I have some I'm working on. We will study your exhibit like we are you.
Yeah, sure.
We will come up with possible objections to knock it out.
Hello, welcome to another super amazing episode of the LHC Pod. And you know how we're doing it here. We'll bring you the best of the best, scintillating, entertaining, educative topics, and we dissect them bit by bit. My name is Emmanuel, and of course, I have my co-host in the building, Lola, always representing. How are you, Lola?
Hello, Emmanuel. Hi, everyone. Hi, Emmanuel.
Yeah,
how are you
what's
doing
up?
today?
Man, fine, except for the fireworks behind the scenes, you know.
Oh, I can imagine.
Yes, so transferring the energy into the studio.
Are you sure
currently.
you're ready for that?
Yes, of course,
Okay.
we're ready for that.
Okay.
It's been an amazing conversation behind the scenes, and now we're bringing it to the fore, right? So,
Into the scenes.
yeah.
Okay.
Lola, what do you have for the guest? Let's see. Shoot.
Okay, today's topic, yes, very fiery topic, and you'll find out why. So today we're talking about selective justice. Specifically, who does the law work for?
In Nigeria
and in Africa.
In Africa.
Can you answer that question?
Who does the law work for?
Yes, who does the law work for?
Basically, the law should naturally work for the citizens.
It should.
Yeah.
Okay.
It should work for the
Okay.
citizens.
That's
And
a
that would be that would be my answer.
Okay, that's a smart response, but we'll see what our guest has to say about that.
Okay.
Speaking of which, our guest, a very renowned lawyer. You know, we need to get lawyers for these types of conversations because people like us, we will say what we say, but they will come and tell us that we didn't say the right thing. So we have a lawyer with us today, and he's in the person of Francis King Chibueze Nwaiku.
Oh.
Renowned lawyer. You're welcome.
Thank you.
He specializes in dispute resolution, family law, labor law, and he's done a lot of stuff on that front. You're welcome.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. It's a pleasure
Thank
to be here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah,
For
all
coming.
right.
So when we talk about justice
Yeah.
and injustice, maybe
Yeah.
we should first of all set the
Lady.
tone for this conversation.
Yeah.
What are we referring to
Okay.
from a legal perspective?
What is justice?
Okay. Justice should first be addressed from the normal perspective before we enter the legal perspective.
Okay.
So when we say generally, what do people expect from justice? People expect what's right to be done. That's the basic level.
Okay.
What's right?
Nothing more,
Okay.
nothing less.
Okay.
You know what's right, let it be done. That's justice. So when you steal from the poor man, regardless of who stole, like is it a rich man that stole from the poor man or the poor man that steals from the poor man, we expect what's right to be done. And you can only determine what's right from the law that applies to people at that point. So when you come to a community, you can tell what's right to that community based on the applicable law to that community.
Okay.
So when actions are taken based on the applicable law to that community, then we can say justice has been done. So basically, that's the understanding of what justice is. And when you apply that to both the legal perspective and any other industry, you realize it applies that applies word for word to every other thing. So that's basically what justice is.
So you're weighing it against what the law says.
What
What the
law
law says.
Okay.
So there should be no excuses. There should be no one.
So that's
above it.
the arbiter in it.
Yes. Yeah. Yes, that's what justice is.
Okay, so I'm going to be picking so many legal terms, and I know that I'm used to it.
Feel free. I won't judge you.
We listen, we don't
if I can, we listen, we don't judge.
judge.
But if I can assist you, I will correct you.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
We are necessary because we are
Yes.
not learned.
No, you are. You're not just my learned friend.
Right.
Okay, right.
right.
Yes. So, yeah, that has set the tone, which is to be fair and to do what is right. Well, not just to be fair, to be seen,
Yeah.
to be fair.
Yes. And to add to that, I'm sorry I skipped that because
Yes.
I wanted to correct that notion. People
Yeah,
have
sure.
that. When we say justice should be we heard he killed.
Yeah.
We should kill him.
Kill him directly.
That's not justice.
So
Yes.
justice has to be in relation to the law
Yes.
that governs
Okay.
Yeah. So I'll come back to that in the long conversation. So I needed to point that out.
You cannot administer justice based on accusations or assumptions.
Yes. Based on assumptions.
Okay.
No,
So
that's
we
nice.
established that now.
Yes, I needed to establish.
Okay.
it.
So let's take it historically for a bit. Most of West African some of African countries were under colonial rule. And during this colonial rule, courts were set up to adjudicate on cases. And then from there, we moved on, gained independence, some through bloodshed, some via negotiations. But at the end of the day, you were independent, and countries operated on their own. Citizens took over powers, and then they started operating. And then came the military juntas and currently, just recently, we experienced certain military rules in certain countries, and court issues took place and all, and decisions or judgments were made and all of that. The reason why I'm taking us aback is for us to understand where we are coming from as a people. Would you say that the court worked for the citizens, those accused during that era, or the court worked for the super rich, the super powerful, or even the colonial masters, as it were?
So the court was set up for the people. It was set up for the colonial masters. It was set up for the rich. It was set up for the poor. The court was set up for everyone with a particular purpose, to reach justice.
Okay.
That was the purpose of the court. And I think during the colonial period, before the amalgamation, we had provincial courts. But after the amalgamation, at 1914, we had the Supreme Court, which was the apex.
Yeah.
Right.
Then most of those provincial courts were converted to high courts. We had the magistrates courts and then native courts that address local issues, communal issues relating to succession, lands, and everything.
Okay.
So, because at that point in time, what was being imported into our system was the English law. In fact, yes, it drove into our system forcefully. Yes, and we still use most of them, some to our detriment currently. To mention but a few, the Pope and some. So that was the setting of the court. It was to address this system. But I won't be saying the truth if I tell you that the law 100%, or rather the court 100%, achieved that purpose for the people generally. And that's not far-fetched. You'd see it in any jurisdiction.
Right.
You find power being abused, institution deviating from the sole purpose they were established. And in some cases, we've seen where there was abuse of power in the judicial system, where we saw justice not being met the appropriate way. And that was the case during the colonial era. Post-colonial era, we witnessed the court favoring more of our people. We saw the court favor mostly people in power at some point. Yes, and that's understandable, because you'd see that in some places. Understandable but not excusable. So now we also see that in our current system, not just Nigeria, we see it in some African countries. We see the justice system not being applied appropriately. But there's a lot of factors contributing to that. I know you have a lot of questions during this interview about the factors.
Definitely.
Yes, so I won't be jumping the gun. So I'll just attempt this question.
Okay.
I won't be... There's something we say most times when we cross-examine witness. We say, we tell the witness. In fact, we had a meeting in my firm. Forgive me, during the period of this thing, because of my profession, I might be relating it a lot to my colleagues.
No, you should
my law firm,
definitely.
So more recently, we had a conversation and we are talking about cross-examination. So there's this session we have in my law firm where we teach, every Thursday, we teach a particular area of law. And an associate was teaching about cross-examination. And then she mentioned don't preempt the question to be asked. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I'll do that to avoid that. So, but
Okay.
for now, I'll just tell you, the justice system was established.
Okay.
So the judicial system was established to achieve justice across all tiers of individuals and citizens. But at some point in time, we saw a relapse, we saw falls, we saw downfall during colonial era.
Yeah.
Yes, and because at some point, even during the colonial era, these guys sitting at the justice system was they were white. They were the whites sitting there. So at some point you'd expect things to happen that way. So that was the case during the pre-colonial era. But now we are the post-colonial
Colonial era.
era.
Yeah, sure.
I guess we can't blame the whites for what's happening. But let's proceed and see the questions here. Yes.
Right. Do you think that it's the reason what happened again? You won't take out the fact that teachings and learnings came from that, right?
Okay.
It came from, because it's part of our history. It's those on the bench then trained.
That's a legal term. Nice one.
Those on the bench trained the current bar, just handing down knowledge from generations
Succession,
to
yeah.
generations, successions, and where we are today. So my question then would be, do you think that what happened during that era is what has cascaded into what we currently have today?
I would like to differ. I would want to disagree.
Okay, so let's have it.
Yes. So, but obviously, it would be me saying it's impossible. For me to say it's impossible that would have happened, it's really a very, 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 should I say, very flawed statement to say whatever we see today can be tied to the history of what we face. But I won't want to believe that we can always tie our current flaws to what has happened in the past. Blame our colonial master every time for the flaws here.
Okay.
If anything, we can even say that the system has not progressed so much since how it was handed over to this set of people.
Yeah. Don't you think the indoctrination also contributes?
I know. In fact, I think at some point they built a new doctrine for themselves. Yes. So at some point, a new doctrine was built for themselves.
Yeah.
A new character.
I don't know. So what's the character?
So now, when you're talking about the character now, I think we have to first look at the flaw we've seen.
Okay.
The predominant flaws we've seen in the judicial system. Delayed success, delayed trial, abuse of the law, tilting towards the flawed part of the law to rely on. And I'll say this is a character we perhaps might have not so noticed during the colonial era. There was a system, there is an attitude towards change. But what you see currently is people comfortable to the current flaw. Like there is a problem and people are fine and say, oh, let's leave it that way. A good example now is, I wrote an article more recently, which we should be publishing soon, on POPA. And it's related to a National Industrial Court judgment that was delivered this August. So POPA is the Public Officers Protection Act. It protects public officers from lawsuits. So, before our conversation, I mentioned timeline. So when you want to sue the government for anything contractual related, you have a 3-month timeline.
Window, yeah.
Okay.
And the interesting thing is that this law we are using currently is one of the shipped laws from the colonial era.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the interesting thing? In England, they've changed their laws. Yes, it's now 6 years. I think 6 to 12 years. Yes, permitting.
Okay.
So they've extended that timeline. But should they now blame that character on what was left to us? So what I'm saying now is that we can't blame it based on what was there before. We can't be expecting our history to have been perfect. What we expect is a better graph. So when we say that we are at level 50 for our judicial system as at 1914, there's an expectation that by 2000 we should be at level 150, 200.
Okay.
And when there is a decline in that, you can't blame the history for that. You can only blame the current character.
So would you say that the current system is complacent?
I would say that.
You will or will not?
I will say that the current
Okay.
system, yeah.
But why? What is like? How would I have a word for it? What is like the? I'm trying to think of the word. What is the enabler for this? Why are they
enabler?
complacent? Why are they comfortable? Why are they not pushing for some of these rejig in the laws? Is it why are the people not why are we just comfortable?
All right. So when I say the current system is complacent here, I want to point out that I
Okay.
am not restricting this to the judges.
Yeah, I'm not saying the
Yeah,
judges.
yeah.
So I'm just
So
talking
I
about
want to draw a
humans in
note. We have a
general.
lot of actors here, and that's why you understand the reason for it being complacent.
Okay.
The citizens are actors, the legislators are actors, the voters are actors, the lawyers are actors in this system, the prosecutors are actors. And there is one common trait among all these actors. They are comfortable.
Why? Because it
Why?
benefits
Exactly.
them or what?
For many reasons, we are comfortable with the flaw we have. There is no drive for change. There is no drive for change. We barely challenge things. So the average system in Nigeria is we hear that Naira has depreciated. We heard this has happened. We heard this has happened. The first thing that comes to mind is, damn, how do I cope?
So we have so much of coping mechanisms that.
Yes.
So, but you also know that to even air out your opinion now, people say don't talk.
If you
That's
talk, what
you.
happens?
Well,
When you talk, what happens?
there are usually
You,
repercussions.
how do you then drive the change if you don't talk?
You talk.
Right?
I doubt if we've seen a system where the ruler could come out openly to tell you, since democracy, to tell us you have freedom of speech, but you're not guaranteed freedom after speech.
After
There,
speech, yeah.
there you go.
This happened during the military era. We still saw a lot of people speak.
Okay.
And that is why we can enjoy the democracy we have now. So I can tell you for free, we have some people that if you ask, come to make statements. There are some lawyers in meeting, they're scared of the mic. Oh, don't give me the mic. Oh, I don't want to be seen. I don't want to mention this. I don't want to mention that. And that's because everyone is scared to make a statement. Everyone is scared to take a move.
But don't you think it's because of the system? Because again, the system uses security and all manner of high-handedness to deal with the citizens.
But the system will not fix itself. Let me make a good example.
Okay.
Let me make you have a car. The car is faulty. You understand? And you need to go to work. Every time you take the car breaks down by the road. You're embarrassed. The other people driving by. And
they're waving at you.
yes.
This is okay for
Yes.
you.
And they're waving at you. And you
Yes.
know that if you fix this car, you'll be broke. And you decided to keep driving the car. You decided to keep driving the car. Now, you're torn between being broke and fixing the car.
Fixing it. Okay.
Whose fault? Is it the car or your fault?
Ooh, I see where you're going. with
So
that.
you
Okay.
could either take the decision to fix the car and be broke and suffer the repercussion, or you could keep watching the faulty car go down the drain and just turn out to one old piece of outdated worn out metal. And that's the case with Nigeria. The system is crashing. The system keeps crashing.
System is crashing.
So
but-
we need people to be brave enough to take that action. You'd be surprised you could fix the car and it will cost you less than that amount. You could go to fix the car, it will cost you more. But most important thing is that you tried to fix the car. Because one thing is inevitable. If you don't fix the car now, at some point you'll stop going to work.
Exactly.
If you fix the car now, you could get broke and you still won't go to work. And that's the case with Nigeria. We are fine now. The system is getting flawed. It's going the way it is. But it's inevitable that in future, if we don't fix it, it will affect our children.
You don't think that the political class are skilled enough to ensure that you don't talk, and so they identify the key voices and silence them, which is the approach that they've always used.
It's yes. I don't doubt that it exists everywhere, not just Nigeria, Africa. You understand? Like you said, it's everywhere. They find you, you speak, they come after you.
But we're going to
These
be
days
looking at examples,
yeah,
right?
We would,
So,
yeah. So let's not jump the gun
yeah.
again.
So do you think that the current justice system in Africa is serving its population?
Okay, first let me throw back a question at you. You asked me now.
Okay.
Do I think if the current system is serving its population? Now, the question I want you to first consider is, do you think the current population has attempted utilizing the justice system?
Oh, okay.
I would say
let
yes.
let me make a good example.
I would say yes.
I bought a coaster bus. The coaster bus capacity,
Yes.
we don't know. And I say, hey guys, let's go to the beach. Another one is saying, no, the beach is so expensive. I don't want to go to the beach. Tomorrow, oh guys, let's go to the beach. 4 people joins me, the wealthy guys. We go to the beach and they will have fun. And they came back and they guys, the coaster bus we have for this house is so beautiful. You guys should try it. I wish I can, but I can't go to the beach because the beach is so expensive.
Okay.
Now, how can you tell if the coaster bus is sufficient to carry everyone in the house?
Okay. And I'll give you reasons.
Now, let me apply that.
Okay.
Now, in this case, the justice system we have is where it is. People don't explore the route of the justice system.
Right.
We've not maxed it. There are some opportunities available. There are mediation sessions. Lagos Multi-Court House keep holding free mediation sessions.
Oh, really? Okay.
You see, oh, really?
Really?
You see?
Hold on.
That's the case.
I beg to disagree.
That's the case.
I
The case of
disagree.
if you know.
Okay,
Okay.
so
I disagree, and I'll give you reasons why. Again, my response to your question is that yes, the citizens have tried or tested the justice system enough to conclude. The conclusion, whether yes or no, we'll find out. And the reason, my pointers are that we have national cases that have been put before or tried before the justice system, and the results are less to be admired. Because less to be admired means that, first of all, there is the place of the law, right? Second, there is the place of loopholes within the law, right? In dispensing justice, you are not only dispensing justice, it mustn't be seen to, how would I say this now?
justice should be seen as
Seen, right? So there is a place of the law, there is a place of common sense as well in deciding on cases that has national importance. That even before the layman clearly can see in a situation where I'm just going.
What if the layman?
This is not
hold on,
emotions,
actually,
right?
all right.
This is not emotions, right? This is basically. I don't want to start pointing out cases, right? So the common case, and let me go a bit deeper. For instance, there is an election that has taken place, and this election, every soul of the country is dependent on it. And then we're talking about justice and injustice in Africa in general.
Yeah.
And every soul of that of that country, that citizen, every citizen in that country depends on it.
Yeah.
And for you as is it panel of judges you call them now? That's the bench. You sit, you look at.
Oh, you're talking about the election.
Yes,
This is the tribunal.
The tribunal.
Yeah.
Thank you. The tribunal then sits and then look at the case. And you know that millions, hundreds of millions of lives depends on these. And then you knock out cases on technicalities. And then you say, that is the law. Or to your question that you have just directed to me, which is that has the citizens tested the justice system enough? Now, the reason why I said yes is because that singular case is enough. Why? Because it impacts the life of every citizen in that country. And for that reason, because again,
what was the expectation? What was the expectation from the tribunal?
I'm not referring to any country, right?
Okay.
But I'm not referring to any country.
Okay, that's interesting.
but that people have come out to cry foul. The actors
foul on what?
Foul
on what ground? Please, I'm not supporting a part.
Yes, you understand.
Saying that this part is right or so.
In the sense that the evidences are there.
What evidence?
The election. Votes.
I'm pointing that out because there's a point I want to drive at.
Okay.
I think the larger population wants something. We have a desire. Remember, I pointed out what justice is.
Yeah.
Justice is not when the desire of the population is being met.
No, I totally agree with you. I totally agree with you, right? We all know. It's just that I don't want to go into, we all know. People come and say, okay, this is it. Voter register are upturned. A whole lot of malpractices take place. These are documented. Video evidences are provided. Electoral bodies are in collusion with the ruling parties. And you come before the court, the honorable court, to say, these are my evidences.
In what way and what manner? That's the problem. And that's the part I feel we all need to. And I'm really glad that you brought me to this. And I wish we can have more of things like this to educate Nigerians. And I'm really happy that this is happening.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think we are getting into that era where we can see our colonial masters as faced and that people are getting educated about it. Usually before now, we won't have people being interested about conversations like this.
Okay.
And this does not just apply to the election.
Okay.
It applies to every area of life.
Yes,
Recall,
we're
talking about evidence earlier.
Exactly.
And in that case, it is not sufficient that, we have a video record of the electoral officers doing this. We have videos of them doing this. This is what happens in court, you don't know. We send list of exhibits. We call it list of exhibits. They're like list of evidence.
Yeah.
Okay.
Those exhibits, prudent law firms, like I don't know about that law firm. I'm talking about my own law firm. What to do?
Sure.
Okay.
What to do is,
Okay.
before that case, we make the list of the exhibits.
Okay.
I have some I'm working on. We will study your exhibit like, we are you.
Yeah, sure.
We'll come up with possible objections to knock it out. You understand? So we are ready to kill your case. And that is the case of lawyers. And we make this statement that unlike doctors, for doctors, you are sick, they take you to the hospital, the medical system. There's another doctor in Turkey, in another country, waiting to assist you in case you fail, to help you from there. There's a video to assist you. We on the hand as lawyers, when you have a case, a problem, there's another lawyer waiting there saying, we will kill his case. That is just his function. That is what he's paid for, to destroy your case. So when you're now taking this evidence, when you're bringing this evidence, and you're not taking them through the clean records, you're not making them pass through the processes the law require them to pass for justice to be met. When it gets to the court, it will be knocked out. And there's a reason why the courts put those fail-proof measures. You understand? Like, okay, before you bring this exhibit, you must make sure that you're the one that created them. You don't just make a video and just tender it in court. You have to bring a certificate to show that indeed this video came from your phone. So imagine things like that don't work. You see it? You understand? You see people just doctor videos and drop things and then they won't be held on oath. So now imagine you are unable to get a good lawyer who is careful about things like this. And because you as a citizen too, you're not quite informed about it, you come and then you make that mistake. We've had some cases in my firm where we see some lawyers and I have to sit up because I know if I say rubbish, this lawyer, this client knows. He knows how. That sometimes the client comes and I'm like, "Hey, you know the law already." So there are clients that way, and we get to see things like this in foreign jurisdiction, and that's why they get to test the law. You see, some of them, they are aware. You say things about them, they're ready to challenge it. They're ready to appeal. They've lost in 4 courts, they're ready to appeal. And that's the system. So having an expectation from an election petition does not mean that it automatically comes. There are factors which could not even be the lawyer's fault. Sometimes there are circumstances that is outside his own benefits. But
Like what?
that sometimes time could be an issue. Sometimes it could be the evidence, because the lawyer cannot control all. We are talking about over how many polling units.
But you also
So by
agree
the time
with
you
me
accumulate,
that, but with time, you also agree with me that sometimes even people in-house would try to frustrate just so that you don't meet up with.
they're talking about the
required
INEC.
timeline.
So
But from both ends.
the INEC, they're not judicial officers.
No,
they're
no,
not the judicial
even
system.
within the
The judicial system has not failed you. The executive
But
system has
even,
failed you. Go and come
even
after the
hold
executive
on, even in the judicial,
We went there.
so even in the judicial system, you have clerks that file your
But they're not judicial officers.
okay, but you have clerical officers,
Yeah.
and
And they're civil servants.
you know what they do. But we're not
Yeah.
going to go there.
No, whatever. No. I don't doubt. I think it's no news.
Yeah.
You don't know what
So-
happens.
so
you don't
for
know what
instance-
happens at the filing room. You talk about some things that happens. That's fine.
Yeah, and they just
I'm
deliberately delay your files. They don't even have to. They don't even stamp some of your
it
files.
could come from a place of carelessness, and I think that is something. Now I'm not. I think this is where we both agree, and I really wish.
They just
I
frustrate you.
fervently pray that we could have a system that works for Nigeria. The civil service system in Nigeria is crumbling. The public service terrible. So we see civil servants act the way they want. You'd go to some offices, you see civil servants, as they think granite and cucumber, and they're telling you, "Oh God, just drop it and get out of here."
Even sometimes you need to sort.
Yes, and
Just to get your file from
yes.
one table to the other.
Yes,
you
and you see things happen. And
Bureaucracies.
I was speaking to someone that if the level of corruption we see in the civil service and public service finds its way into the judicial system, you won't be saying this. By now, you'll be crying blood because the level of corruption we have at these areas, I don't think they've entered any other place. I don't
Seriously?
think they've entered any other industry. Just think of any public issue you can think of. You would tie it to the civil and public service. The major issue. Are we talking about funds being misappropriated? Are you talking about you're talking about infrastructures badly maintained? What is they fall under the civil service when you see them? Lack of accountability. There is poor address to work. So, and it's a different ball game when we leave our country to the countries we desire.
Exactly.
If by God's grace you step out
No,
and then you go.
I'm not the jackpot.
No, you're not. That's good. That's beautiful. No, it's good to hear things like
Nah,
this.
we don't jackpot.
So it's good to hear things like this. But there could be one or two things that will take you to go out. You understand?
Yeah,
and yes, and
travel.
if you have a reason to engage your public service, you get to see the level of responsibility from people.
Oh yeah, it even starts from when you apply to travel.
The only state we can say that is perhaps quite close to that is Lagos State, and we see it tell in the state.
Okay, let's go on a short break. We'll be back shortly. I have one direct question to you.
Oh.
Direct questions are.
Direct.
Let's be careful. All right.
Is the Nigerian
yes. When the
warning
word
for
is
me.
dangerous.
is the Nigerian courts truly independent? Are the judges truly independent?
That's a direct question. Is it?
Huh? That's not a direct
No,
question.
I said that's a direct question.
Yes,
It's
yes.
a direct question
Yes,
indeed.
of course.
It doesn't get more direct.
Okay. We've always been clamoring for the independence of the judiciary. And the truth is, you'd rarely find a system where the judiciary is purely independent. For a reason, government students will be very aware of it, checks and balances. The complete independence of a particular arm, when I say complete, I mean absolute independence, can be chaotic. there are 3 arms. As you know, the executive,
Yeah,
legislative, the
and
judiciary.
yes.
They each check on the other.
Do they really check?
Judiciary
Today.
checks. The judiciary checks.
How do they check?
Some of your cases that come around are being checked. The
Hold
presidential election, that's one of the checks.
I don't see that as a check for me because it's more like a rubber stamp.
Your current president's tenure, his current livelihood, everything was dependent on the judiciary at that point in time. That's checks. If he does not, let me make a good example.
Okay.
If there is no system to stop the executive from it, we've seen some of the unlawful impeachment of legislators and where the court reinstates them in Ogun State, some of these states.
We can also see the case in Rivers where there is no anarchy,
Just
and an
administrator.
emergency declaration was made. And we've also seen states where the lives and properties of individuals are being maimed and burnt, and nothing has been done.
If you would tie that,
Is the judiciary truly independent?
and for these places you mentioned, now will you tie these causes to the judiciary? How will you tie it?
But I think it is because
Who
the
brings
opposition
cases to the
party
judiciary?
brought the case of Rivers before the Supreme Court. And
And,
what
the,
did
ju-
it,
and the Supreme Court gave a verdict.
and what was the verdict?
Whatever the verdict is based on the decision of the Supreme
What
Court.
was the verdict?
So this is it. This is what I'm saying now. We are back to square one. Where the population has a desire. And as a
What
result,
is the desire?
And the desire,
when
we
the
don't.
desire or the expectation of the judiciary, again, we cannot hide under laws.
We're not hiding under the law.
But
are we
I
saying that
do
if
think-
the outcome is not expected,
It
or
is
if the
not.
outcome is
No.
not- are we saying-
Please,
Lola,
I would
please.
like her to complete what she's
Yes,
saying. She's
going-
making the point
okay,
on my
okay,
behalf.
let him. Okay,
No,
go
it's,
ahead.
even, it's more like, are we saying that if the outcome is not expected, then it is showing some sign that the judiciary is not independent?
And to spin
First
off,
of
and
all-
to spin off from there,
Yeah.
that's the point I was trying to make earlier to you.
So I think we should clarify on that.
Yes, I needed to, and that was I made that decision. You recall, I first defined justice, and I came back to chip that in. It is doing what is right
Exactly.
based on the law,
So still
and
on the
yes, based on the law. And the interesting thing is, we say the courts don't make decisions for themselves, so they don't make arguments.
The law.
They don't make arguments for themselves.
I know.
They make decisions based on arguments,
Understandably
before it,
so.
and facts before it.
And understandably so. And which is the point, right? So let's get it straight. First,
Yes.
I asked, is the judiciary independent?
I said that we are still at the route to independence.
We are still
Complete
there.
independence.
Meaning that, and so we're still in the process.
Yes, and by all
which
means,
which means that chances are, if we're not there yet, it means that there could be external influence,
I completely agree for the
right?
for that strengthening of the
Which
independence of
also
the
means
System is
that,
not perfect.
hold on, please. Which also means that what we are currently experiencing, can be influenced by external powers, correct or wrong? Whether it is seen or whether it's seen to be correct or seen to have followed the law, it basically means that external forces can get the judiciary to check the law and look for areas of loopholes and then play to the gallery on their behalf. Correct or not correct?
That's not disputed. But regardless of that, why I said this, we are all actors in this game. We are all actors in the sense that we can decide whether we want the complete independence of the judiciary on how we contribute to it.
How do
you
we
don't
achieve
need
that?
you don't need to be a lawyer only to play your part. You need to be involved in the game. We need to follow up. We need to know who our legislators are. We need to call for the removal of some legislators. You understand? We need to move for votes of no confidence on some legislators. Right now, we don't even care what the representative of our constituencies are doing.
The same reps?
Yeah, we don't
That
care.
consolidate
and you know the
power.
funny thing, they are the most powerful.
So my
They are the
question-
They are the ones that can even give more powers to the judiciary. If you want to think about that, they make the law. When you have a voice, okay, this is it. The voice you speak. Before you speak, I can speak. I am. Let's give ourselves different characters. I can see. I can write.
Okay.
You can speak, but you can't see. You can hear. You can only give orders. And that is how it goes. I'm the legislator. I can't speak. I only write. And I give you what I've written to speak. You understand? So I speak to you and I tell you, oh, this is it. You can read, right? All right, read and speak to them. But you can't write. You don't have the ability to write these laws. So you are the court. You can only speak the law which I write to you. So when you want a reform, you don't like what this person is saying. Who is the first person you meet? Me.
The legislator.
The one that writes. And if the people that appoint the person that writes, it's not him, but the gallery. They're the one that appoints the person who writes. So when you want a change about his voice, you don't like his voice. His voice is very, very harsh. It's very insensitive. It's unfair. And you want to change that voice. It's not futile when you keep pointing your finger at him that, oh no, you're too harsh.
King.
You're too hard.
King.
The first thing to do is come after the writer.
Okay,
I see
King.
where you're going.
How do I come, King? Understand? Yes, this thing's on paper, yes. It's the process.
Why this on paper? Why this on paper?
On paper.
That's because you guys have not tested it. That's why
Hold on.
You've not attempted to recall. You keep saying it's on paper.
Have you seen the process for recall? If you truly want a recall of a legislator,
are you expecting a recipe for baking a chocolate cake to be the process for recalling a junior elected?
Have you seen how many persons have to sign? And the process and the procedures? They even tried one recently. Which constituents, however dissatisfied that they are, have truly been able to muscle. You see the hurdles?
If you
Hold on. Let's just let's be holistic.
All right.
Right? I think that the judiciaries are also afraid because they know that certain benefits will be confiscated if they don't pander to the whims and caprices of the executive.
That's huge.
That's one. Two, you have the politician who basically not elect. So we have godfathers planted around the country. Two,
who worships the Godfather?
Who select candidates of their choice, rig the election, call people from above, work alongside with the security to ensure that their people are voted, the people who they have unpicked are voted into power. And I call these people my legislators. Was there a true election in the first instance? They get into that either the green chamber or the red chamber, consolidate power by enacting laws that makes it extremely difficult for their constituents to recall, question, take what belongs to their constituents and use it as empowerment programs in their names. Are we truly running a federal system of government?
I'll tell you no. I'll tell you from the very, very get-go. I think our federal system of government, it's stifled. It's stifled.
How do I recall?
How
do I course correct?
I think it's stifled. And the only way you can give us, I think the only state that is really doing quite well with their legislative arm is Lagos State.
Okay.
Yes. No. Lagos has one of the most robust laws. When we're in law school, we say something that Lagos is the country and Nigeria is the state.
Interesting. Why do you say that?
Because you end up realizing that nearly all the laws Nigeria have are copied from Lagos State laws. Whoa,
yes. Interesting. And what is the original?
Lagos first enacts, and then your country goes down, copy and paste and amends them. More recently, this year, Lagos State enacted the witness protection law. Something like that.
Witness protection law. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure we are at the federal level. We'll be waiting. Let them do that. And then you'd see Lagos law, High Court rules 2019.
Yeah.
You understand? And then you see Abuja, you now see 2020 something. You see this law earlier, and then this other one, ACJL this year, this one will come after the law. And why I said Lagos State is doing that is because you end up seeing the product, you see the results there. And that's because when you see the constituency, Lagos State has the most active constituencies. That people might not legally challenge you, but you see them get connected and say, see, you're not doing right for this constituency.
Okay.
And if you don't do right, your next election, we are watching you. We are watching you. So if you don't favor this area, you don't favor this ward, we are looking at you, won't be voting the next time. At least they still use their voting power to get what they want. But we can't say the same for the federal level. Wow. We can't say the level. We can't say the same for the higher level. And that's why you see in Lagos State, you can't just go and sit at the legislative house for Lagos State and abandon your constituency completely. You will feel the pressure. People will come after you. And if we can extend that from just the normal, if you don't build our road, we will not vote you. If you don't this, goes down to the level of, we see this is happening. Our markets are going down. We want you to enact this. We want you to do this. This is the law we understand. We start having educated people challenge the system. We have the educated ones interested in the political system. You see things change. Have you watched this session, the British session, and watched sessions of African legislative house of Africans?
Seen a few.
You see the argument.
The difference in the quality of arguments
Very.
and stuff.
You see the level of argument.
Very,
and there's
very.
no one saying, check the record. I wasn't, but you were there. You understand?
Yeah.
There's more of elite understanding. People are bringing solid reasons. They are bringing addressable solutions to it. So we are not bringing setting up the house for comic relief. And
Exactly,
We're not having to off the mic.
yes,
The decorum to
yes.
use
and the interesting thing is that whatever happens in the legislative house affects these other organs. They affect the judicial organ.
Okay.
They affect the executive as well. And that's why I keep saying that I believe the judiciary is not so independent, but you want to blame their dependency. You understand?
Yes.
You won't blame their dependency on them. So if you want to fault a child for being dependent too much and you want it to have absolute independence, you can't completely blame the dependency on him, especially when he does not have the will and power to determine his independence. It's been a different case if it was like a sect group saying they want their own independence. You know, they have the right and power to fight for their independence. But in this case, it's a group of people that you know that the only thing they can do is enact policies, appeal for their independence. No matter how you want to put it, the appointment is still subject
Okay.
to ratification.
Yeah, I don't know, but let's just take it.
So just before we round up this part, an average Nigerian, if you should meet an average Nigerian and ask him, how do we appoint the judiciary?
Okay.
We don't know, and that's where it
I
comes
know.
from. All right, I'm not faulting if you don't know, because you are not expected to. Or rather, in our
executive arms appoints the judiciary.
The what?
The executive appoints the judiciary. The state governor.
Okay, so
appoints
that
the
yes,
judiciary.
so
But again, I know that before you are appointed, you must have met certain criteria.
yeah, and some level of nominations from the NJC and some other judicial bodies around.
So let's
And
not
yes,
go there.
yes,
Let's not
yes,
even go
yes,
there.
yes.
Right, yeah.
So whatever the case is, I'm just saying we need education. Like we need more of civic education. Civic education is dead in Nigeria. And the truth is, no matter how you want to put it, your child could be the next Chief Justice. Yeah, no matter how you want to put it. I remember when I was in uni then, and they were saying things like, it was like a play when I was in 300 level. Some of my colleagues would know that I was someone who carries student litigation and last student.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was like, oh, we sue for this, we'll come after this. Unprovoked, just tell me you have an issue with the Lasusu House of Representatives and I'm your guy, I will happily do it. I remember I had a particular friend, Idoko. So myself and Idoko, he's based in Abuja, but the guy is schooling then in Lasusu. And my house is just not so far from the school. But then, so then we dedicated nearly our entire session to judicial activism.
Oh, wow.
We wanted to reform the judicial organ. I remember I put in so much effort to this, and all I needed was just some set of votes from the Lasusu students.
Okay.
You understand?
And you
To
didn't
come in
get
as the
it.
legal director and get some of the arguments I was getting.
You didn't get it.
You're Christian. We can't do this.
What?
You do this, you
Wow.
can't do that.
Wow.
And they supported, although my classmates knew what was happening and they pushed for it. They knew what will happen. And that's the funny thing. They were law students knew what this guy wants to do.
Yeah, and then they
this
used
guy
it
wants to
against
reform.
you.
Although I still have we had some guys within the circles that wanted to kill it. But they pushed for it. And in the long run, I would have been angry. The plan was that I would kick out and I say, oh, you guys, go away. I'm in 400 level. Kill your lasso. But then I thought about it. This set of people don't know what they're talking about.
Interesting.
They don't know the game ahead of them. And currently, I see here something's happening. I know they really suffered about. So they really did not know what was happening about it and all. And so that was when I went back. And after much struggle, I still did not get it. I'm sorry, I lost it. till I left. I didn't get the opportunity to go through the procedure of being appointed to change the judicial. What I'm saying then was that there was lack of education in that part. In fact, I remember we paid. There were some of our clients we bought them food. We told them, come and eat.
Oh, wow.
So that you will go to court. And they just ate the food and left. But the point is
They're
that
hungry.
Yes,
I wouldn't blame
yeah,
them.
the point is that so there was one of them that they called the sister and they told the sister and he just left. The sister told him, yeah. And I was like looking at it, I was like,
you want to go and fight?
yes, look at you.
shouldn't fight
Someone
now.
beat up someone that has my name. I was hearing the courtist beat up someone that has my name because I was fighting your case, and you just because they called your sister, you're running away already. And that brings us back to the point that we need civic education among the people.
Okay.
The people think there is nothing to lose yet. An average man does not understand the essence of the independence of the judiciary.
Why?
So that
Yeah.
education is needed.
It's needed.
So let's come forward a bit. Why are corruption cases against senior citizens, in quote,
When you say
politicians,
senior citizens,
Oh,
so
you
did you mean the
privileged
older
citizens.
citizens?
privileged citizens, of
Privileged.
citizens,
Okay.
especially, say in Nigeria, and politicians that have been accused of corruption or who currently have corruption cases going on in the court, easily dropped. But Mr. Emmanuel on the street who stole a goat,
Why would you steal the goats?
because again,
That's a common
he's
crime.
jailed, not in prison. I think jail is when you are waiting trial, right?
Jail?
Well, they can
No.
say
You've
incarcerated
been detained.
or detained.
Yeah, it's
Detained.
under detention.
Under detention, you are waiting. Maybe you're facing trial, right?
It's in
That's
custody.
jail.
Yeah.
That's jail. They are in jail and they are waiting trials.
No,
for-
just use whatever term is fine with you. I understand.
you are waiting trials for years. And
Well.
sometimes they don't even have strong legal representation. And at the end of the day, they are incarcerated. But we have our big boys, the politicians, who have embezzled, who are even telling us before our very own before that cockroaches, snakes, rats, lizards,
Scorpions.
scorpions ate the money that was either kept in their possession or they're supposed to watch over. And these cases are dropped. What is happening? Why? We need to understand the why of it.
I'll give you the why. I'll give you the why.
Yeah.
Several factors that affect these cases.
And why, if the factors are there, why are they not affecting the common man as well?
And I'll explain as well.
Okay, thank you.
So I'll start off with why some cases get dropped.
Okay.
There are some cases that get withdrawn. So I think averagely we get to mistake when the case is being withdrawn, when the case is being struck out, when the case is being concluded. All these are several terms. They mean different things. And I will explain because I believe the essence of the podcast is so
Yes,
that
yes,
non-lawyers will
Yeah.
understand
Yes,
it.
yes,
So
sure.
Exactly.
when you hear a case has been struck out, it means, in simple terms, it means the court has said, oh, we are taking this case off our record now. because we don't see reasonable cause. We don't see a reason to proceed with it.
Yeah.
Either because the prosecution has not been doing well, which you should remind me to address.
Not
Very serious issue.
Oh,
I am making this
appearing.
podcast. Yes, this one pains me directly, and
Yeah,
I don't
appearing
care who is
before the court.
listening. I'm saying this directly to the AG,
Yeah.
the AGM, and every other person in power
Okay.
relating to this. And I'm not hiding or cutting words on this. I will give you reasons why
Okay.
to this. So, and that's why when it comes back in, we call it relisting, because it's now taken back to the list.
Okay.
Okay.
So sometimes you should not be deceived when you hear that your case has been struck out. It does not mean you cannot come back.
Come back. Okay.
It means you can come back if you fulfill a condition.
Sure.
Okay.
So let's say
Okay.
you are saying that I want to sue you because I heard you will slap me. The court is like, no, we'll take this out.
Okay.
Until he has slapped you, come back. Or when he has shown reasonable cause
cause.
to slap you.
Slap, yeah.
Like there's evidence that, oh, he's really challenging your livelihood and all. So you can come back during that time. So when you have evidence for that, you can come back and relist it.
Okay.
You put it back on the list.
So striking out a case is not. It doesn't mean
not
that you
conclusion,
cannot. It's not
yes.
conclusion. Okay.
So striking out is like this, or the opposite of dismissal generally.
Okay.
So when we hear a case has been dismissed, it means the case has been closed. The court has listened to both parties and said, no, he's not wrong. He slapped you, but you provoked it. I'm sorry, you can't bring this again. So once your case has been dismissed, only your very rare circumstances, I won't tell you now. If you're interested, we can have a deep conversation, and that's not because of anything. It's just
Yeah,
that it's
sure.
a very deep conversation.
Yeah, sure.
It's academic. When you can now bring it back, so that's dismissal. And then when we say that, when I say withdrawn, I'm saying the party that brought it is taking back the case. You say, okay, we are no longer proceeding, as was in the case of the Innocent, the Palm 2. What's her name again?
Oh,
So
okay,
we're going to
yeah.
come.
Yes,
come
no,
from one
I won't
to-
jump into that. I won't jump into that.
Okay.
Yeah, because I know you have that in the corner. The moment I saw your topic, I knew, this is the trend.
Yeah.
So so when you say a case has been withdrawn, it means the prosecutor or whoever brought the case, or the complainant, the person that complained against you, has said, no, I don't want to pursue anymore.
Okay.
Take it back.
So that's withdrawal.
Those are some of the instances that happened for some of these rich guys. So imagine you have the money.
But why would the state choose to withdraw? For
I'll
example,
give you instances.
Emmanuel versus Lagos State government. Emmanuel has stolen, has been accused.
It's usually the state of
The
Lagos
state
versus.
versus-
Okay, the state, yeah,
Oh,
versus,
that's the
yeah,
way they say it.
yeah. So Lagos State versus Emmanuel, right? He's stolen. He's accused of stealing XYZ amount because of the portfolio he occupies at a certain time. And then the state government comes back and says, I'm withdrawing this case. Why is it so?
And I'll continue from where I stopped. So there are several factors that could lead to that. Corruption, I won't hide. I won't lie to you. If I come here to tell you that it's purely administrative, it's a lie. You've seen several cases where you just mobilize the prosecutor and then they pull away from it. Especially, I'm not hiding with this, especially the police prosecutor. I don't know whoever suggested that for Nigeria, but it's a ticking bomb. And until the citizens realize the danger of having the police as prosecutors, it's when you realize that our justice system is dying faster than it has been.
So
What's the ideal situation?
The ideal situation is take the police out of the court.
Okay.
Take them out. We've seen the police abuse power to the level that it's very dangerous to have the police prosecuting cases. The minimum we've given to them, which is protecting life and citizen, they're still struggling with that. We still see them struggle with it. And then have you seen them in court?
No, I don't want to.
Have you seen their processes?
I don't want to.
That sometimes I brag that I think the easiest case for me to throw out of court to be any case COP related I hear that you bring against this. It's because the chances that the charge sheet will be flawed is 60 to 70% chances.
That's high. Okay.
So why do we have the police? Are they trained to prosecute?
Well, they said they are.
What kind of training? Because I'm wondering.
Allegedly some trainings. Allegedly some trainings which we are yet to see the result in. But I would have wished that the training would involve them taking their job desperately. Take for instance, as a lawyer, if you should meet me tomorrow and said, "Oh, Francis, I want you to prosecute this case." Even right now, I'm speaking to you, I'm scared about some things. Not I'm scared, like I'm careful. That's appropriate.
Oh,
word.
okay.
I'm
Okay.
careful
Okay.
about some things because I do not want to say things or do things that will spoil the image of my firm. Because I know when we are done talking, I'll hand you my card.
Okay.
But in the case of the police, it's not. They don't care. So if they spoil the reputation of the police, an officer, okay, it's already known. So, so if he messes up in court,
Nobody's going to.
Nobody's going to. Yeah.
no one cares.
No repercussion.
Yes, and the truth is, it's coming from a system and organization that there is less administrative structure. So, and that's why you see the police prosecutors different from the EFCC prosecutors,
Oh, I see.
the ICCPC prosecutors. When you see them in court, you know these guys are here for business. So, in that case, these are things we should be concerned about. We should start asking. I loved the way we stepped up, the NSAS, you are killing people. I see the results.
Are there results?
What do you think would have happened if if that particular activity, you know the way it was, the SARS operation before the NSAS? Imagine it was left in that particular situation till this year. Let's be genuine and truthful to ourselves. Do you think it would have been worse than it is now?
But they're still on the road.
They're
Nothing.
still-
They
they're
basically
still
just
on the
changed
road.
name.
Yeah, they're still on the road, but do we
But
see
it
the
won't
same
be as-
damage like it is now? It spiked to that level because it was becoming unbearable.
See.
People were
And
missing
because-
unbearably.
And it's also because the government chose not to address the situation.
And the government's attention was shifted to it. Why? So imagine we put in that same energy. Look at Kenya. The way they challenge the finance bill.
Yeah.
The protest. It was the same energy we used for NSAS. But you know why we put that energy for NSAS? It was the young boys being attacked. Immediate gratuity. We wanted immediate response. Our children were being killed. Our
No,
children
but
were
it
being
was
attacked.
beyond the.
We won't
challenge.
challenge the police act. We won't challenge the bills. We won't challenge the new tax bills. We won't challenge.
It wasn't. It was okay. So let me correct this. It wasn't the Yahoo boys. Is that certain? Even the tech guys were being labeled.
That's what I'm
For
saying.
example,
I'm not saying- I'm
because
not
I
saying just the
carry
Yahoo
dreads,
boys.
I'm afraid to carry dreads now. Even when my friends wants me to carry dreads.
I'm sorry. Let me take that back. When I
Yeah,
was saying the
yeah,
Yahoo boys,
yeah.
I meant the stereotype.
Okay,
And
the
that was
stereotyped,
word.
yeah,
Yes, that was
yeah,
the word
that's
I
the word,
I
yeah,
heard to
yeah,
use.
yeah.
So the
Okay,
stereotypes
yes.
was what inspired
That's-
it.
that's
So save for the
appearance, yeah.
stereotype. Do we need to wait for stereotype before we react? And that's it. So we have to wait for when it's set.
But you also agree with me that several protests would have taken place after post the NSAS, and the government has been doing all it can using the agencies to suppress the voices of our citizens.
And that's where resilience comes in. I'm not justifying the government's action. It's a very embarrassing thing. It's very sad. And when we keep
profess
quiet to this-
democracy
when we no, it's just a sham. We all know. We all know that we don't enjoy true democracy. We all know it's. I won't, like I said, I won't come to butter things here. It's all a sham. We know we don't do that. The most dangerous thing is when people's freedom to speech is now getting suppressed. You're not speaking. You just carry a flyer to stand by the road and they've rounded you up in a van and they're carrying you out. It's now dangerous. People say it's for peace. It's a lie. You can only be prevented from your speech when you now carry out actions that are not justified or justifiable in a democratic society. So when we talk about the democratic society, is protest justifiable in a democratic society? Yes. It's been before now. In fact, some came into power through protest. So why challenge protest? You should challenge protest. And that is the decadence. Like, that's the problem now we are facing. Suppressing people's voice. And when you keep suppressing people's voice and you succumb to it, you keep crying, you'll be weak. During the past, and that's why I told you, our history was better than now. We've seen the Aba Women's Riot. We've seen several people. There is this movie I was seeing more recently. It was related to this this era when they had this set of slaves that jumped from the ship because they refused to be captured and taken over.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a very interesting movie where the girl was singing this very nice song, and it just brought out the point. And I saw that clip because it was interesting how these slaves decided that instead of taking me to your land as slaves, I would die in this way. And it was not just them jumping. Do you know where it gets scary? When you are bound in chains and you're all jumping in. Now, I tried to picture it. They won't all jump out of the ship at the same time. One will jump, the other will be pulling the other. So imagine watching them jump and the chain is dragging you. And in that, they were singing while they drown. That's bravery. That's bravery. I was just telling you earlier that now we are having princess men and we did. Exactly. There was, in fact, I was reading there's this interesting Twitter page I follow, Nigerian Facts or so, where they give facts about, and I read about a plane hijack from young Nigerian men, 19 men, because they wanted a policy.
And they hijacked the whole plane.
They hijacked the plane. I know the fun fact about that plane hijack. They made the government think they were with guns.
Oh.
And then they towed the plane for several hours. They ended up realizing they were not with true ammunitions. That's bravery and intelligence. But now the super trend is we have the Barbie princess go to tap, jump, and they let them just try the new trends on TikTok. And we pride ourselves to be the smartest immigrants. And that's no doubt. You see Nigerians doing daring things, Paystack, you see this industry, this fintech. In fact, I was reading something, I was telling someone that Nigeria is turned into the Silicon Valley of Africa.
Okay.
We have a lot of payment solutions coming about, tech guys coming about, but at the same time, there's a lot of distractions coming in. And as a result of that distractions, we are losing bravery, we are losing people that should fight.
Let's bring it forward again a little bit. Kwam Emerson case. Yeah. Do you think that the government was in the right in the way?
I talking about Kwam 1 or Kwam 2?
Kwam 1 and Kwam 2. Okay. Comfort, right?
Please, our listeners should permit us to refer them by as Kwam 1, Kwam 2. It's easier.
Okay. So, I think we have Kwam 1 happened, which is a legislator, first of all, having an altercation at the airport. And then Kwam 2, who happens to be the Kwam 1 scenario, right? And trying to ensure that the plane doesn't taxi. Yeah. And then we have the Kwam 3, which is the young lady who, maybe for obvious reasons, went above the roof in terms of this, and all of that drama took place in the 3 scenarios, or in the 2 scenarios.
The last two. Thank you. I was going to say that.
Yeah, in the last 2 scenarios, one had to tried to stop the plane, which could be categorized as hijack by law. The other basically having altercation with the hostess in the plane. One was given, Kwam 1 was given a ban, but
a ban. Okay, I thought
yes,
a ban. Okay,
ban. Yeah, six months ban.
Which was
and then the young lady was thrown to jail almost immediately. Custody. Okay. but there was a charge. But there was a charge. There was a charge, and then.
But has happened real quick.
Yes.
Very quick. Do you think?
Okay. So she was not convicted
yet.
No, she wasn't.
No, I think that she.
No, that was a remand.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and that's part of the thing I want to explain. So, the police are abusing this. So, a remand is when you come to the court and tell the court, we don't have sufficient evidence yet. to prosecute this person, and they know that that offense is the kind of offense where the person most likely gets bail for. So to put the person in custody, they say, oh, this person is at flight risk. We want the person to be detained till we get evidence. And there's a timeline within which you come back periodically for the renewal of that remand. And when you don't get it, the court, I think it's 4332 or so, for yes months. So after that, if you don't get the evidence, the court can let the person go, but not discharge.
Okay.
You understand? Not discharged.
Not discharged. Okay.
Yes, or acquitted. So the person just lets go. The offense can be brought back. So the court will say, all right, let him go his way. When you have evidence, come to prosecute them. And the original intention of that aspect of the law, we call it non-custodial offenses. So when we the intention is the non-custodial sentencing. The essence of that non-custodial sentencing is to ensure that, okay, let's keep him here for a while till evidence, to prevent them from tampering with evidence. It's not to punish them. It's not to punish them. But in reality, we have seen prosecutors, we've seen especially police prosecutors. One might wonder what issue I have with them. It's because I've been...
The police is not always your friend, especially to the lawyers.
Funny how I have quite a couple as friends. I have them as friends. You too, in every industry, any pastor friend yourself, they're the good and the bad ones. They're the good and bad ones. It's just that, yes, there are some you see the bad ones.
The bad ones are, they overpower the good ones.
It's just unbearable, yes. And that's the case with the police.
Okay.
So, in this case, she was just remanded.
Okay. Yeah, thanks for that correction.
So that was it. She was just remanded. And then the trial has not even started. Her case was withdrawn.
No, it's because of the outcry.
Yeah,
right.
That's
so.
That's if the citizens,
if the citizens were quiet, I think that they would have.
Yeah, no doubt. The social media.
Trust me, I wasn't even cool. I'm not a lawyer, and the aviation minister is a lawyer. I'm first a PR professional, and I know that issues like this, you take caution first. I wasn't cool with the statement. The very first statement is like, oh, they just came, told you the brief, and then you just went ahead and, oh yeah, release this. Okay, where's it? Remand her, and come on. And I'll tell you, for instance, I manage a brand.
That's interesting.
And the first thing is, they came, we had an issue, a multinational. And the first thing I saw was that colleagues of mine flagged an account, a social media account, impersonating our brand full time. I saw it clearly. And immediately I saw it, they brought it to my attention. Next thing, I have the business team calling the person directly. So when they shared it with me, I said, okay, I'm going to deal. First of all, the first step I told them is, don't worry, I will deal with this. And then my colleagues pick up phone, they did their research, got it, called the person immediately, and they were ranting. But I told them that is not the way to go.
It's appropriate.
So the first thing I asked is to ask the sales team, and said, this is a distributor, I suspect. Did anybody give the authority to this person to operate a social account in the company's name, brand name? First, I did my internal investigation. They all said none. But my mind told me that person couldn't have had the product to do content and post if he's not a dealer. So what I did was to tell the team, I'm going to get engaged. And so when another person from the team engaged, she wasn't having a smooth conversation with the person on the other hand. In fact, they were so they had to dial me into the conversation. So she immediately dialed me in because she wasn't getting the cooperation expected. And the next thing is you threaten. Next, you go to legal, you take legal process, right? But I said, no, I'm going to handle this in my own way. The first is to make him understand, okay, gentlemen, thank you. I saw what you did. Lovely, nice. Would support you whichever way you want, but the truth has to be said. You are impersonating. And you cannot continue using the name. You have two options. First, you deactivate. The pages are new. You can create a new one. Ask me for whatever support you want. I'll provide. Two, you don't do that, I will take the account down, irrespective of whatever amount you have spent. The brand name is trademarked and all, and I can take that up with you. The guy listened, calmed down, listened to me and said, thank you, Emmanuel. I will have this conversation with you.
But then how many people do we have like you, Emmanuel?
And I'm basically just saying that I'm a professional. Guess what? I spoke to this guy. I came down. My team were still pressuring that, oh no, the account is still up. I told them that I'm going to act in the best interest of the organization, which does not require me to be aggressive. And what I did at the end of the day, I made this guy very comfortable, invited him to the office, and he was pleased to come. Guess what? When he came to the office, he opened up to me. There is a dealer. I said, what is your dealership name? He mentioned the name. I ran the name into our system. And lo and behold, and I could see the number of products that he has purchased. So this person has already registered with a dealer, which goes with, so when I checked the pay, I'm like, no, for you to have the mind, there must be something. It must be something. And then he said, yes, of a truth, that he chose not to unveil because of the way and manner my colleague was speaking to him. And I said, okay, no problem. Let's correct this. I have conversation, brought the head of sales team, have conversation with him, made him comfortable, brought out souvenirs, brand souvenirs, gave to him, told him just change, this is it, if you want any information. He was very open. I would expect that somebody as learned as
the SN,
as SAN could act in such manner. We don't have time, but
no, quite much. I'll rest on what he said, because the point you made was pretty much the same point the Nigerian Bar Association made when they challenged the whole actions.
Yeah.
That you don't just unilaterally wake up and say, oh, we are putting a lifetime ban. Lifetime ban is too heavy. Even the courts will think twice before giving a life sentence. Like,
do they even have the power to?
So
it's supposed to be a pronouncement from the
yes
from the court. But how come?
No. They even if they would want to do that, they're meant to consider, like you said, they're meant to listen to the parties, examine evidence. And this is like a principle that has been entrenched not just to courts. There are instances where at your workplace you fire someone without hearing both sides, and the court will say, no, that's wrong. I'm not even the first person that you should check whether he has done it.
We'll come back to labor laws. And maybe that they will have 4 chairs and then we'll have an HRO. We'll have an HRO seated.
Where
we can discuss this conversation.
Because it's very interesting. There's a lot going on. And it's played itself in this case because people in industries, they act based on whim. Like you said, your colleagues, you mentioned it.
Yes.
The attitude of, oh, let's act. And that was what happened with Kwam. So I remember that day when I saw that video.
Yeah.
I went straight to my status and I said something, not conclusive anyways. I said that I am pretty sure that these guys reacted that way because they felt like, you want to do the same thing Kwam one did, we'll show you that we are not them.
But
you understand? So from that attitude of perhaps, what the conversation I simulated was that perhaps after the first issue with the airplane trying to taxi and then he stopped him, he was like, you dare not try it with us. You understand? With us, we'll not get that rubbish from you. We are Ibome, we are not value jet. you know that attitude. Yeah. So I'm pretty sure that was the attitude. Sorry, we are value jet, not Ibome. So I'm pretty sure that was the attitude they brought with the lady.
Yeah.
You understand? And with that, I think UN was like, you know what? We've had this. We are fed up. we are here. No, we are not taking nonsense from you lot. Yeah. You come about and then you undermine our power. And you're like, we are giving your life back. And that's the attitude with people. I tell people the place I have seen people very careful the most with making decisions. I've seen it amongst the lawyers, the court system, than I've seen with non-lawyers. I have seen non-lawyers in position of making decisions, panels, bodies, and they get so sentimental. I say, oh, she's crying. You know what? I declare this. Bah! And that's it. You don't wait to assess. So we see that hot-headed. The first instinct is not, let's hear both sides. And that was what happened. That was what the NBA came with. So even if you want to impose a ban, the NBA's argument was that at least assess the situation. Find out. Because you need to find out what caused this, what caused that. There are excuses to people being enraged. There's what we call provoked assault. So there are excuses to some of these things. And there are instances where you'll be expected to be diplomatic. You understand? Where you understand that the essence of this, the goal as regards it, between two wrongs, you should know which of them makes more sense.
So do you think that the only checks and balance that we have in our society as of today is the social media?
No, I wouldn't say that. I won't say that. In fact, I think the social media at some point will get too dangerous. I would tell you for free, I think the pressure that mostly hits these guys was not the social media. It's not the first time the social media has given an outcry. I think it was the other organizations that were coming around. It's exceeded. I think the social media prompted other organizations. And then the involvement of these
I was even surprised that the NBA would issue an official statement.
And they knew clearly that if the NBA should get involved, likewise some lawyers get involved, they have to be at the top of their game. They have to be at the top of their game. And I think these are things they reconsidered. Although in the statement, he said it was not as a result of pressure.
Those are just released.
Mention that. But I want to believe, likewise, the social media. And that's where I applaud Nigerians for. We are doing quite well. Just I think sometimes we should tone it. You should not assault people. Don't insult people. Don't bully people. Don't just hear one fact and then you just bully everyone. But I won't say that should be the reason for us to end social media. So when I see people act that way, I try to excuse it because, like I said earlier, between two wrongs, between having a social media that pushes the politicians to work and having a social media platform where once in a while I'm not looking down on it, people get assaulted also. I would say there is more damage caused when the executive are going unchecked. So I won't completely say, oh, let's completely ban. Like people are saying, let's ban social media because people are getting assaulted. No. The appropriate conversation should be, how can we regulate it? But are there good things coming out of it? Yeah. So the social media plays its role on checks, but you can't tell me it's the only form of checks. You can't tell me it's the only form of checks and balances. If you think it's the only checks, I dare you to pray for a system without the judicial organ, or pray for a system without the executive organ, and see how checks and balances work.
Do you think in Nigeria that Very Dark Man is taking setting laws into his hands?
Very Dark Man is a person of his own. I won't talk about his personality. Different people have their personality. I've heard his noble intentions of some cases where he tried to give arms, or rather assist people that are helpless.
Yes.
That's applaudable.
Yes.
Whether has he made some flaws in his statement? Yes, he has. But like I keep saying, or rather I will restate, if you look at the one single flaw of a person to antagonize his entire intention, that will be wrong. The appropriate thing to do is separate the flaw from the good part. Let the good part sustain and antagonize the flaw. Point out the flaw. Seek for correction. Don't witch hunt.
So does he have the right to investigate cases?
Personally?
Yes, as a person.
No, you can investigate facts. You should even investigate facts before. It should be our default. In fact, that should be your default mechanism. When someone says something to you, investigate facts. Oh, I heard Emmanuel slapped a colleague at his office. Really? I don't pick up my phone and say, Emmanuel is a shameless human. I said it. He has shown traits of a narcissistic human being. I'm not surprised he will slap someone at his office. This is what is how people get in power. No. I should find out, where did he slap? Who did he slap?
Why did he slap?
Why did he slap? No, because there are instances where slapping will be excused.
It could be as a form of self-defense.
If I hear, for instance, that your brother you understand, is remanded in custody, or let me never use your brother. Let me say something. Let me say your house was demolished, and I come and I said, oh, this, that, and I provoked that assault, and you slap me. Don't flash. The law gives you valid reason for that. Funny thing is that when I provoke you to an extent and then you kill me, you won't be held for murder. That's how bad the law understands excuses. We call them defenses.
Okay.
So the law understands that you can be provoked, and they call it provoked assault. So the law understands the normal assault and understand what to call provoked assault. So you can say it is a provoked assault, that I slapped you, but it was because you provoked it. So if we don't get to understand that, you don't investigate facts. You won't understand when it comes as a provoked assault. You understand when something leads to the other. So you should understand that sometimes when excuses apply, you hear that a lady killed her baby and like, oh, I said it, ladies are going wild. Yes, this B2 movement is getting crazy. They've come into Nigeria.
Yeah.
But you don't get to understand that it could be postpartum psychosis. And these are excuses under law.
So,
Okay.
So investigate. That should be that should be your default
point.
mechanism. I will applaud him for that, for investigating. You understand? But where I might have issues with is where we make allegations to some people, like the case of Fowles, where there was allegation of him being. And you could find out facts without alleging and saying, "Oh, so he's gay." So it's
he
this.
just wants to sensationalize the issue.
So people have rights to come after you for saying that, oh, you assaulted them, you say the defaming statement. They're not wrong for that. And the social media should come to the understanding that people are not, they're not demons for using the legal platform to clear their name.
Okay.
Remember, emphasis on legal platforms. Legal platforms. So now when you have a tenancy issue, you go and call police and say, come and arrest me. We see that a lot at the police.
And so we currently have that. We're running out of time, and the production team are seriously. I wish we could go on and on and on. I'm really, really enjoying this conversation. Citizens are using state apparatus against
each other. Shows you that the apple does not fall far from the tree. We're all the same.
You see?
Why?
Our leaders are not this. They're not different from the difference is that we're not just in a place of power yet.
AFCC.
We're not just in the place of power yet. And why people do that is because they're just them. It's human being. It's human nature.
But it's not the same across other climes.
Because there's an existing structure. I was in a conversation with someone that mentioned that she got arrested, you understand, outside, and she wanted to take an action. And then the police told her outrightly, I'm sorry, we cannot pursue this further. You can only take action on that civil wrong.
So,
but the Nigerian police.
What is this thing that has to do with order from above?
Okay, order from above. I wish I was a policeman to give more insight on that. Order from above. But I just think our police system needs a very good reform.
Are you sure?
Yes.
That is achievable.
I'll mention
with the crops of persons, because again,
I'll mention quite some reform I believe we should have, which I
the employment procedure is flawed.
Which is part of the I'm mentioning. You've just mentioned one of them. There should it would have a very good sense if you have a good recruiting system, a reliable recruiting system, separate from the force.
Not senators and House of Rep listing people from their constituency.
There should be transparent recruitment system. There should be proper training. There should be independent bodies established for training of these people. We should encourage community policing. Policing should be moved from the executive list to the concurrent. I heard this in the house.
Yeah, I think they're making noise about that currently.
It should move down.
But I hope they're not political jamborees because of the next...
Everything is with an interest. The truth is, in Nigeria outside, the legislators, everyone have an interest. But the difference between we in Nigeria and other functioning countries that we see this system work for is that even when they have their personal interests, you get to see a very large slice of public interest in it. And because the people which they are pitching the idea to are educated people, the elite, bright-minded, they are ready to attack you. They won't hesitate to go to the streets. They won't hesitate to go on hunger strike. You understand? they know that they can't fool these people with mere words. They won't dare to tell them snakes swallow the money. They won't dare to tell them. So when they come to them with a very beautiful packaged bill. And you won't know the underlying interest until there is not just investigation, serious, detailed investigation.
Secret investigation.
That's when you find out this underlying interest. But you end up seeing that there's a large slice of public interest in it. And when that bills move in motion, guess what happened? Because the public is distracted by the large slice of interest which they enjoy, they get distracted by the private interest. You are learning in corruption. You go out, you see crazy. These guys, they are corrupting billions.
See?
You hear it in large amounts. You look crazy white things. You see intelligent way they move money. And you'll be surprised how did they even move them. But here in Nigeria, they just need to make the transfer one way and everything goes.
All right. What a wonderful conversation. I don't know.
Yeah, it's been a good one. I mean, we would have lots of questions, but I think we should just wrap up and basically conclude on the topic, and
then we'll come back for divorce-related conversation.
Yeah. That's interesting. It's a very interesting one. I can say it's a wonderful evening. I'm even looking forward to more. And I desperately wish, I should say this before I leave. I think every Nigerian should build the inquisitive mind. Okay. So every Nigerian, yes, mind. I think it's directed to the Nigerians here. We should build the inquisitive mind.
Okay.
When you see things, when you see things, you hear things, try to know about them. You hear that the house is sitting. Sometimes this hearing in the house, they are public. They are made to the public. And you need to be there to know what's happening. And considering the situation we have here, we see social media as having a big say in our political system. You can't be well informed with your social media posts if you're not well informed with what is happening directly from the house. So let's say, for instance, there's a bill in the house. How best can you challenge that bill? On social media? Or how well can you air your opinion on that bill? The best way you can do that is being there for the session.
But sometimes these bills are passed, and certain bills you don't even know what is happening there. No publicity about it at all.
So sometimes, not all. Sometimes some of them are made public. Hearings in court are public, at least. Only on the default hearing for court session is public. Only on few occasions they are made private for security reasons, national security. It's a child involved. So but the default setting, it is public. But guess the only people you see in court? The affected parties and the lawyers. It's the lawyers that randomly just say, like I do sometimes, I go to court and say, I just want to learn. I want to hear some people argue.
So we can actually just take it.
It's a public. Okay. In fact, your constitutional right for being prosecuted is that it must be in a public hearing.
Oh, interesting.
If it's not in a public hearing, you can challenge that conviction.
I haven't eaten. I need to feed my tummy first.
Okay, you feel?
No, I'm just basically saying this, like, people are going for their daily bread. You say they should abandon that and come to the court.
Guess what will deprive your daily bread? Just try to guess what deprive.
What?
A failing system will deprive your daily bread. Okay, now should I tell you to proceed to get me these? I want this, I want that. Or let's say,
people want to feed.
Emmanuel, can you get me 15 boxes of pizza? Can you get us 15 boxes of burgers? Can you also get us a house on the island? Right. You understand? You can't do these things currently, although you are struggling twice the time of some people outside. And why are you not getting the results? The economy. So one or the other, it will come back to hit you. I'll trace it back to one of those things I mentioned then in school, which I didn't complete then. I was conflated between challenging a particular president I heard that misappropriated funds. And why I was conflated about it is because I was scared he will be expelled if I take this up. And then a senior told me that now he's over 7 years at the bar. Some of his colleagues are already magistrates. So imagine I should fast forward my time to where he is now. It means in future time, some of my colleagues will be at a position where the future of my children will be determined by their decisions. If you don't teach them a lesson now, they won't learn when they get there.
Absolutely.
So the effect of that statement is that whatever we do today, invariably, it affects our children. We are suffering this now because some of our parents kept quiet. The They were quiet about it. They were complacent. They saw it. It's not important. What matters is that they go to their market. They sell. Guess what? Some of us, our parents even bought good lands. They bought houses. But what's happening now? They're all depreciating.
They are, in fact.
Some of them
They
even
have
got
bought.
demolished.
Yep.
That is a topic for another
I
day.
know that.
So what I'm trying to say now is, while you're interested about your personal life, you're concerned about your business, you're concerned about your private life, be politically active. Understand your civic duty. Pursue your civic duty. Don't say, oh, because we lost the last election. If I ask you the most effective election you've witnessed since during our time, before the Abiola time, the most effective election you witnessed, you most likely want to say is the last election.
I don't even think so. I don't think the
No, when I mean effective, okay, the most not well organized, the most provoking, yes, or the most active election.
Okay.
The most active election.
Okay, the
That was-
election with the most
Drama.
engaging,
Yes, engagement
engaging
and drama. I think that was the
youth
first
and with the youth engagement.
not just youth, barriers breaking too. This election was the first time we saw 3 candidates.
I would say the first time.
You understand?
since
3
93.
parties. Which usually we used to have just 1 party and 2 parties dragging
two.
the poll.
Most
But now it was more than
yeah.
2. In fact, 4. We had different parties challenging. 4 different parties, in fact. And you could meet one person. You don't ask them, is it PDP or APC or is it Labour Party? There was 4 options. And why was that? Because people were civic. Like people they were entitled to their civic duty. And when we have that continuing for 10 to 20 years, do you know the kind of utopia we'll have? And that is what happens outside. Everyone is challenging the system. Everyone was aware. People were attentive. People wanted to know what's happening. But now I know,
There was even
sadly,
voters'
I
education.
think that might not be the case for the next election. It pains me, and I wish that was not.
Again, so which brings us to the point. With all those energy, time wasted, resources, individuals, for the first time, I would say that Nigerians took it upon themselves to finance campaigns for, when I mean Nigerian or individuals, I mean the poor
Yeah.
could bring out their resources to say, because I know, I trust, I believe in these candidates, I am making my donations.
I agree with that. If
Right?
you think
And at the end of the day,
they didn't get what they wanted,
no, is that the rightful results
Why
were
do you think-
upturned. Let's just say it the way it is.
Yeah.
Right? Using the power of
I
incumbency.
stand by the decision of the court anyways.
using
Don't get provoked.
all
I
right.
think at this point, we can call it.
I don't just want to utter what I have in mind, right?
All right, that's
but it's
fine.
been a wonderful one. Thanks very much for creating time to be with us, educating us. There's so much that I've learned from this conversation. And I think that our viewers out there too would really, really find this very interesting. We're going to get him. He's going to be back.
Yeah,
And he's
yeah,
going to
yeah.
possibly be back with more persons from his law firm so that we can dissect these issues and have a better understanding, right? So I want to say a big thank you on behalf
Thank
of
you.
everybody in the
Yes,
house.
yes.
Thank you very much. So
Finally, you should be attentive to some public services. There are some pro bono services that are open. I know some of my friends that run some, and I know my firm to run some too. So there are some firms, there are lots that even open up. Take for instance, my friend ran when he was freshly called, and he works with this organization from Philadelphia. They run pro bono services,
Oh, okay.
Mary Studios, yes, and then they help out people that have been detained for so long.
Okay.
So they help you out with detention, get you out for arbitrary detention, and they've helped some people, and some ran away without even coming back.
Oh, wow.
So-
Wow. But is there
so-
anywhere people can check?
Yes, you go to
Services.
court. You go to court. They have some
okay,
free
okay,
services.
okay.
I even saw the train advertising one for domestic violence.
Oh,
yes,
okay.
against women. So you should not just suffer in silence if you are a victim of domestic violence. At
that
least I know
one-
Lagos
that one
State.
is needed.
Yes, Lagos State have the most active.
Yeah.
In fact, some people say they have a lot of disgruntled women there. But the point I'm trying to point out is, please strike out that stereotype.
Yeah, sure.
The point I'm trying to point out is that we have active organizations that are ready to help you.
yeah.
So walk up to them. The domestic violence unit is at Alausa here.
Okay.
You reach out to them, they assist you. You could also reach out to some lawyers too. If they request for consultation. If you can afford it, you pay. If you can't, you reach out for those that have some free services available, and then you get assistance. But always get assistance before you do things that can have legal implications. Always the place.
Thank you.
That's it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. So I think for me, it's just a case of we know our rights and we understand better what the position is in terms of who justice is for.
Yeah.
So going forward, let's make good use of the information that we've gathered today, avail ourselves of all the services that are there, be responsible and be very active in terms of civic duties.
Yes, very important.
Very, very important. We need to be engaged. It's tempting to say, oh, the next election will be somehow, but let's still engage.
Let's still
Because
engage,
real
please.
progress won't come if everybody sits back and says, oh, they are tired. So that's it from me. How about you, Emmanuel?
Yeah, for me, what would I say?
Say anything.
We'll leave the conversation open. Is the law made for the rich or the poor? Is justice for the rich or for the poor? I still don't have an answer to that question. But you can help me by basically dropping your comments, sharing your thought on this topic, and also appreciating our wonderful guest in the house who made the topic very simple, very simplistic to the list, and that in such a way that even a kindergarten could understand what is being said, right? So, yes, you can share this episode with your family, friends, and loved ones, and like, subscribe to the channel. That is the only thing that gets us going. From all of us in the studio, even from the ones you can see, usually behind the cameras, doing the bulk of the work for us, we want to say a big thank you to you. We appreciate your commitment and time. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you,
we'll see you next week.
All
Bye.
right, bye.
Bye.